guys, Cory with Capavella. Today we've got Dani Speegle, two-time CrossFit Games and reigning Titan Game champ, along with competitive eating. Thank you for doing this for us.
Of course.
Something that we say a lot around here is own your journey. So tell us your health and wellness journey.
So I guess health and wellness, athletics, the whole entire thing has been a part of my life, since day one. Got into athletics very early on, gymnast at age 3, did that competitively for a while, and then got into a lot of other things, diving, volleyball, track. A back injury took me out of gymnastics, so I just bounced around until I found something that I truly loved. I even did rowing my freshman year of college on scholarship. Just, they liked the look of my legs. They're like, you look strong. And I was like, yeah. So we did that. And then I found CrossFit my senior year of college, and that's really what stuck. So throughout my whole entire life, athletics, health has been just the forefront of what I've been doing, and it still is. So it's been a whole lifelong journey so far.
Perfect. So obviously people don't necessarily know all the hard work you've put in. Like, talk about your schedule. Like, talk about what your day looks like and how you make sure to find time to train.
So it changes when you're doing athletics as, just a sport in college or school or fun. When it becomes a professional thing and you start doing it as a job, it is all that you do. So everything that I do within my day usually is geared towards my training, that schedule, or the fitness and nutrition business that I have on the side. Everything is wrapped around into that. So I wake up and I eat to fuel my body to go train, and then I train, and then I eat to fuel my body after training, and then I try to get in some emails, some food again, and then I'm back at the gym to train, and then I eat to recover and do some kind of recovery thing, stretch, or some kind of appointment, and then I'm back at the gym and to do my last session of the day, and then I eat to fuel my body for the day and for the next morning, and then I go to sleep. And in all that time, I do things like I come and see my PT to help me with all my injuries, and I do things within the time that I can, but every single day that's what I'm doing, is I'm training, eating to train, sleeping to recover to train. So it's just a full-time job.
So you make it sound a lot simpler than it really is. And honestly, people that have seen you compete, or if you just watched it, you made everything look easy, but you and I got to spend a lot of time together this year as you were it's okay, you were recovering from a shoulder injury. Talk about how it was dealing with that setback. Everything, like I said, I know it's not easy, but you tend to make everything look easy, and all of a sudden you can't do everything. Talk about how you had to change your mindset. Yeah.
Again, when you go from sports being something purely for fun to it being your full-time job, there's a lot of added stress, a lot of added pressure. So having an injury in the world of athletics and realizing that you can't compete, you can't showcase your talents, you can't go place, you can't get your, skills, your name out into the world, it becomes really an emotional journey more than just the physical struggles of coming back from injury. So things aren't recovering as fast as you want them to. You want to go and compete. You can't. You just want to go to the, for me, it was I just wanted to go to the gym. I just wanted to do a normal workout, and I couldn't do that. And realizing that not only you had to wrap your own emotional stress and get that under control, you're thinking about, the people I, work for, the people who pay me to do what I do, I can't go and do my job. So then you have all the pressure of, the outside going hey, when are you gonna compete? And you're like, hey, I actually have no idea. I'm really trying my best. So it's really difficult to heal your body the way that you should when you have, a million different things coming at you saying, go faster. And even yourself, you're saying, I wish I could heal faster. I would like to be able to compete sooner, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, training through injury is probably the worst emotional, stressful setback I've ever encountered.
So, funny story about Dani.
Here we go.
We were less than a week out from a procedure, and she decided that it was appropriate to ride her bike for 26 miles.
27.
27 miles. And then came in and just could not understand. You didn't understand, right? Because it was it's something I used to be able to do before. I don't get it. I didn't even push anything.
Yeah, low impact. In my head, I was like, yeah, low impact, like totally fine.
So what
Use my legs.
Yeah. So what we did was we knew that returning to the games, we circled the calendar. This is where the CrossFit Games were, and then we worked backwards. And what we had to do is we had to set small goals, whether or not it was like, hey, I just need to be able to sleep tonight without pain, or hey, I need to be able to do this without pain. Like, so talk about how that helped you deal with this emotional thing, because yes, you're someone that can do everything, and all of a sudden we had to build these small incremental goals. Well, one, did it help? And then two, talk about how it helped.
Yeah, of course it helps. So I'm someone who, I'm like, okay, well, today is today, but tomorrow is the CrossFit Games, whether that actually be tomorrow or 6 months down the road. So I'm always looking at like the bigger picture. And I was looking at, day after my procedure, and I can't move my arm past like, this tiny little motion. And I was like, okay, well, my career's over, because I'm very dramatic like that. So the sky is falling, everything is just terrible. So having you come in and enforce these short-term goals and being, okay, well, we have all this time, so let's just see if we can get you out of just, no pain, staying still for a certain amount of time. And then I was like, okay, Cory said we're gonna try to like get no pain by Thursday. And then I was like, okay, I just have to like keep it under control until Thursday. And so then we get to Thursday and I'd be out of pain. I was like, oh my God, he was right. So then of course I would try to do a push-up, and I would set myself back for.
We don't talk about that.
So when I followed instruction, and when I did these short-term goals and focused on just one thing at a time, it helped me not only recover at the speed that I was supposed to recover, and actually extraordinarily fast. We talked about that I actually came back a lot faster than a lot of other people might. But it helped me keep my emotions in check, because it was just a stressful time, and you witnessed it. You saw me, realize I still couldn't do something like just a month out, and I would again say my career is over, I'm ruined, I'm finished. And so
these are all factual statements.
Yeah, they're not exaggerating at all. So having someone enforce short-term goals was probably the thing, besides obviously just the knowledge of how to heal myself, but it's probably the thing that got me through this time. And short-term goals definitely help when you can't look to the bigger picture, because then you just fall apart. So yeah, they definitely helped.
Yeah, and I think, obviously for you with an injury, so we had the ultimate goal of CrossFit Games, but I think you and I, like being in a gym setting, have seen the athlete come in who has all these aspirations. They want to do X, Y, and Z, but they fall or they fail because they have unreal expectations. So that's why I think it's so important. And for you, unfortunately had to be an injury for you to learn this, but that's why I think it's so crucial for goal setting, and just to set appropriate expectations. Like, do you see that? Because obviously you program, you have some athletes that you work with. Do you see them having issues with that as well?
Absolutely. I think anyone who comes into athletics, whether it be a small, child going like, I want to go to the Olympics, or just someone coming into CrossFit for their first class being like, I want to go to the games, or just someone who's like, I want to lose 100 pounds. You look at the end goal, and you do it for 3 days, and you're like, why am I not there? Like, why is it not happening as fast as I want it to? And you see it on like the larger scales, and you see it on small scales. Someone just wants to be able to do a skill, and they're wondering why, after just trying for a couple days of like repetitively like trying this skill and failing, why it's not clicking. And they don't realize that when you want to obtain a large goal, that there are so many tiny goals that you have to be able to do. I don't know my audience here really, so I don't know if I can say something like, for me, the shoulder thing was the ring muscle up. Like, that was the thing that I knew caused me the most pain. And I was like, well, I'm doing all this PT stuff. Like, why can't I still do it? And it took a long time for you to be like, well, have you been able to do an assisted push-up?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. But I still could do it. I was able to do this. And so, it's just like one of those things where you have to break it down to the mini goals to be able to get the overall goal. And
Yeah,
I had to learn that. That. I had to really sit down and tell myself to like chill out. You had to really sit me down and tell me to chill out. It's okay, we'll be honest.
It's all right. So you talked about eating, you talked about training. So obviously you understand the importance of just lifting weights. Like, you're also really big on your rest and recovery. So kind of talk about when you do rest, talk about why you care about nutrition, because I know you said you're a competitive eater and you know how I am. But talk about how that changed your training or changed your performance once you start to think about everything.
It's, when I was first starting off in the CrossFit space, I went to team regionals, individual regionals, and to be honest, I got that far purely on my genetics and my natural athletic ability, and all the sports that were in my background, they primed me for CrossFit. So I was able to get so far just based on pure talent. There comes a point where it's like the divider, the people that are gonna fine tune everything and they're gonna keep excelling, or they're just gonna, I know maybe you saw this as well, but when people first start a sport, especially CrossFit, there's this huge exponential growth of strength, of skill, endurance, and then you kind of plateau off. And that's the same with everybody. And then if you fine tune things like nutrition, recovery, sleep, all these things, then you start to be able to climb the scale again. And that was just something that I had to accept and learn, that I couldn't just, continue to go into the gym and work really hard. It's only gonna get you so far. You have to dial in everything else. It's a full-time job, so it's like going to work and being I'm gonna work from 9 to 5, but then you only work till noon and you wonder why you're not getting all the work done. It's the same kind of concept. You have to do everything. You have to be able to do everything if you want to excel.
All right, perfect. So enough with the serious stuff. Now we're gonna go 60 seconds,
Okay.
rapid fire, 60-ish seconds. All right, you ready? All right, Chipotle or Polynesian sauce?
Chipotle.
That was wrong.
I freaked out. I was wait, that's not the right question.
So you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready? All right. Chick-fil-A or Polynesian?
Chick-fil-A.
Chipotle or Moe's?
Chipotle.
Favorite movie line?
You're killing me, Smalls.
Favorite movie villain?
Moriarty, but Andrew Scott, the one in the BBC Sherlock series. Andrew Scott Moriarty.
Okay. All right, if you could be one Disney character, who would it be?
Groot.
All right. All right, technically Marvel. Okay, yeah, cool.
Disney.
All right, your entrance song would be? See that clock? It's ticking.
I'm panicking. Panicking, I don't know.
Okay, favorite flavor of ice cream?
Pistachio.
Most basic thing you've done today?
Pumpkin spice latte. Can we go back to the song?
Yes, entrance song.
I thought it'd come to me. Next question.
All right, last song you listen to on your iPhone?
Dua Lipa, Don't Start Now, but it was a remix thing.
All right.
That could be my song.
Time's up.
Yep.
Time's up.
Start first by saying that this is the workout buddy that I was referring to. This is Sarah, as you just met, and she has been such an encouragement to me on the app, and just so motivating. She's always there to offer suggestions for working out or to help me. I'll send her pictures of myself doing a certain exercise and I'll say, is this right? And she'll say yes or no, or she'll send me pictures of herself showing me an exercise, and it's just really, it's been so helpful to me, and I've really enjoyed having you as my workout buddy on the app.
You're my favorite workout buddy.
Oh,
yeah. I do see when you get up and walk early, so I'm if you've done something and I haven't gone up yet, I'm oh, I have to do things.
Same here. I'll get up. I usually get up every morning and walk at least 2 miles, usually 2 miles, sometimes 3. And as soon as I get back, I'll look on the app and I'll see who posted, and I'll be like, Sarah didn't post her workout yet. And then I'll be like, I wonder what's wrong with her. She must have been in a hurry. She must have had to go to work. And then I'll check it throughout the morning. I'll be like, what did she do to work out this morning? And so that I can't wait to see what she did.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Motivational.
Yeah, for sure. It is motivational. And we've been part of groups too. She set up so many challenges and goals with myself and several other teammates. And it definitely drives me. There are certain parts of my body I want to work on to strengthen or to, you know, especially my back. I have lower back issues, and I have 3 children, so I have the mom pooch. So I've definitely asked for a lot of guidance in that area to help kind of shrink my core a little bit and strengthen my core. And so we've been part of many goals and challenges together, and nutritional conversations. Like I said before, that's so helpful to have somebody that's going to hold you accountable, so that when I get up every morning and have my sweetened coffee and mini muffins, she can say, well, why don't you just try to cut it down to 2 instead of having a whole pack of them? And it makes me realize that maybe I don't need a whole pack of them.
I like our nutritional conversations.
Yeah.
I think those are good. We did a whole month, August, where we, with other people, said what we ate every single day, all day long. And it does hold you very accountable to whatever it is. Like, I probably shouldn't have this because then I have to tell somebody.
For sure. And I think we actually need to start another one, because I've really been slacking off this month. And because we're not like in a set like admission challenge where we have to report in every day, like I've been slacking off. I haven't reported what I've eaten for probably a week or more. And so I'm like, oh, well, I don't really have to report it, so I'll just go ahead and eat it. So I think we need to get another one going soon.
I'm all about it.
I'm sure you are.
We do have a calorie one going right now, which it's helpful. It makes me work harder in that workout to burn more, not just do the workout. I'm like, oh, it's not just about doing it all the time. I need to actually work hard.
Yeah, that's true. So the way that I joined the app back when it launched was Sarah and I have known each other for a few years because she and my husband work together, and my husband Rob, who's also on the app, and he doesn't really use the app because he forgets to turn it on. He works out 5 mornings a week, and I said to him, why don't you turn your app on when you work out? And he says, I don't remember. So that's why he's not using the app, just because he forgets, because his brain's thinking of 500 other things that he has to get done during his day. But anyhow, he came home from work and he said, hey, the app just launched. Why don't you get on it? Sarah will be on it and you can just check it out. And I said, okay, you know, I'll put it on my phone. I don't know how much I'll use it because in my brain I was thinking, okay, I know how fit Sarah is. I know how fit Darren is. These people are CrossFit people, and I'm definitely not a CrossFit person. I worked out prior to using this app, I'd say on average 3, maybe 4 times a week, just at home on my own for maybe like a half an hour a day. And that might be like I went for a jog, or I would do like a HIIT workout or something, like a quick one at home. And I thought, I just didn't know how much I would use the app because I figured it would be a bunch of super duper strong people who worked out all the time. So I put it on my phone, and then Sarah and I had been talking and texting on and off about it. And, you know, she had mentioned setting up a goal or a challenge and asking me what I wanted to work on. And then, you know, as we just started talking and texting more, it was very helpful to me. It was super duper motivating. And I enjoyed getting on there every day and checking it and seeing what other people were doing. And I realized that it's not just for people who are CrossFit or super athletic or fit, it's for everybody, because there's all sorts of people on there. And it's just been really helpful to encourage me to just stick with my goals and to keep pushing forward and to just try to be healthier for myself and also my children, and to just kind of strengthen my body, because I know that I'm getting older. Today's my birthday, and I need to keep myself fit as I age, especially because my kids are young, and I want them to have a healthy mama who can do stuff. So, and I'll let Sarah talk a little bit about some of the goals and challenges that she has set up that I've been part of.
When we first started, we did a bunch of core ones at first. Core is my favorite, so I will always do a core anything. So those were fun. And then we would go through, and I've cheated because you can look through and see what an open challenge that is right now. And I'll see what other people are doing and see if I want to join in on that, I can jump in. Or if I want to steal their idea, and we can do it separately, so we don't have to be involved with other people. So you can make them all open and anybody can join in, or we can make one and we don't want other people in it. I like that. I like having personal ones. I like open things. I like the opportunities we've had doing those. It's kept me accountable since starting. I would have worked out anyway. I don't know if I would have worked out as often as I have, or as much recovery as I have. I do a lot more like yoga and stretching and things I wouldn't have done without it. I also want to try to make things harder for me so then I can suggest them to other people too. Like, this was challenging. You try it.
I definitely have found too that I work out a lot longer than I did before being on the app, because like I said, it would be, I mean, it's busy anyhow because I have 3 kids at home that I'm taking care of, so I would just try to do a quick workout. I kind of lose interest in doing something super long. Like, to me, walking is so boring. I feel like it takes forever, but I get up and I do it because it's good for me. But I'd say like now on average, I work out no less than an hour most days that I work out, probably about 5 times a week. And being like the calorie challenge that she had mentioned a minute ago that I'm part of, I definitely find that, you know, I'll do my morning walk and I've walked for half an hour and not even burnt 200 calories. And I'm like, ugh, okay, I got to do something else. So then I'll go home and do another workout on top of that. So it's definitely, I'm more fit now than I have been in a very long time. What is the next challenge?
The next challenge that we plan on doing is, I definitely want to do food again, which won't be a challenge in the goal, but if we force ourselves to say what we're eating, I think that would be a great idea for November since there's lots of eating happening.
Yes.
I would also like to do another running goal.
Okay, I'm good for that.
And I think after this goal of calories, we might try to do a challenge of calories. I'm weary on challenges. I'll push too hard on myself, but
Okay. Okay. I would like you to do another core challenge.
okay.
Core goal coming up for us.
Always am.
Yeah.
I appreciate both of you coming and being super users for us. We're gonna make this thing better for you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, today we've got Bridget Sloan, 2008 Olympian, 2009 world champ. Then she went to Florida, won a bunch of national championships, and now she's here with us. So those are the highlights. Bridget, the thing we say around here is own your journey. Kind of walk us through like your health and wellness journey.
So, I feel like my health and wellness journey was pretty generic for a gymnast. I started gymnastics when I was 4, and my parents had no idea what they were getting themselves into, nor did I. But it was kind of one of those going to the gym for the first day and never left. I pretty much had a regimen my whole life, thankful for my parents, all my siblings. They really supported me my whole journey. But the one thing that I think was key in my whole athletic career was my routine. I always had a routine, whether it was in the gym, outside of the gym. And I really kind of took that from my elite world into college, and then now as an adult, I still keep that routine.
Cool, so talk about the transition. So obviously everything was either towards national championship or world championship. What's your why now in regards to your health and wellness?
Oh gosh. Wow. My why, I think, would just be to kind of be the best version of who I am now. And I think that was really tough because as an athlete, I knew my why. My why was, you know, get to the Olympics, become world champion, get to UF, and hopefully win titles. And when I graduated, finding my why was probably one of the hardest things I had to do. Because you go from having a coach, having people kind of tell you what to do, and then I graduated and it was like, well, what do you want to do? And I had no idea. So now I would say my why is just being the best version of myself and really just being an empower to other athletes, to young girls around the world. I've started coaching a little bit with a best friend of mine. So just kind of giving back to the community is something that's super important to me. And I would say that's kind of my why now.
Cool, so how do you keep on task? Like, do you set goals? I know you go to a CrossFit gym. Like, talk about the community aspect and how that kind of keeps you going.
Yeah, CrossFit is very funny to me simply because I swore it off for years and I actually used to make fun of people who did CrossFit. And here we are today, 3 years after joining CrossFit, and I love it. But the one thing that I love most about that is honestly the community. And it kind of makes me feel like I'm back in that gymnastics atmosphere.
you know, you look around, you see people that might be doing a little better than you, and you're like, that athlete comes out and you're like, I don't want them to beat me. So having that has been super helpful. It really just kind of gets me zoned in on the small goals. So my goal was always to just be healthy. And with CrossFit, it's the same. It's just be healthy, have fun, enjoy what I'm doing. And who has done a great job of just helping me meet some of the greatest people, some of my closest friends I met through that gym, and some included right here next to me. But no, I think CrossFit in general, though, it really has taught me a lot about keeping that routine. It's helped me keep a routine.
So tell me about that moment when you compete in your last event and you realize, like, okay, I gotta go be an adult. Like, talk about that transition.
Yeah, that was probably the scariest moment of my life. You're at NCAAs, you're in the moment, you're so excited, the crowd is going crazy, and all of a sudden you land and you salute, you run back to your team, and you're like, oh my God, I never am gonna put on a leotard again. I'm never gonna compete again. And for me, I mean, gymnastics was part of my life for 20 years. It was, I don't wanna say it was all I know or knew at the time, but I mean, it was all that I knew how to do. So for me, finding that identity was a little scary. It was scary, but at the same time, it was exciting. I took it as an opportunity to find out who is the real Bridget Sloan. Everyone knew her as this gymnast. No one really knew that I was, you know, super social. I'm funny. I got jokes. And no one knew that because they just saw me on TV competing. They didn't. So this was my moment. This was my time to kind of show the world who I am. It took a long time. It did take a long time. And I really kind of let the process happen. I didn't rush it. You know, I was so sad to leave Gainesville, and I moved up to Ohio, had no idea what I was gonna do. I ended up working for Lululemon for a little bit and then realized I wanted to get back down to Florida. But that whole process of kind of who am I, it took a long time to kind of figure out who I am. So now, instead of saying Bridget Sloan, the gymnast, it's Bridget Sloan empowering young athletes, empowering young women all across the world to be the best version of themselves. Because for me, that's what I looked up to. You know, I would look up to these athletes that were even on my team. I mean, Samantha Peshek, Alicia Sacramone, all people that were on my gymnastics team that ended their career a little bit earlier than me. And I saw them doing all of this amazing stuff. And I was like, I want to do that. So it was kind of realizing that I can and that it is possible. You know, having that journey and going through that. And it was cool to go on it and go through it by myself. So I didn't have, my parents were super supportive. They're like, whatever you want to do, we got your back, but you have to make that decision. So there were a lot of big decisions that were made in that time, but I'm so happy with where I'm at. I wouldn't change anything, all the ups, the downs, everything in between. But finding that identity, I think a lot of athletes find it so scary, and it is, it's terrifying. But if you look at it as an opportunity to get excited about the future, it really can be cool.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but I was scout team MVP at Virginia Tech. So I also had to make a transition. And I do remember that. I mean, I went to grad school and I still played intramurals, and like, so I still got my fix. Okay, yeah, I'm not a world champion. I get it. But once I got a 9-to-5, I had to like totally rethink my reasons for doing everything because I was so competitive. I wanted to win. That's all I wanted to do. So all of a sudden, when there's no more game to compete in, it's like I had to refocus. And yeah, it was tough.
It's scary.
I swore off. Like I was like, I'm never gonna work out again. I've been doing it my entire life. I'm over it. So talk about some of the barriers that you've had to overcome. Obviously, you know, you're in college, you're Olympic team, like this is what you do. This is your job. Now your job is to you know, go sell stuff.
Oh, that is true.
What barriers do you find, whether it be time, whether it be motivation? And how do you deal with those?
So the biggest barrier that I even face today is actually making my own schedule. For years, I had someone telling me, hey, it's time to get up. Hey, it's time for practice. When I would get to practice, here's your schedule, here's your regimen. And then I took a sales job and they were like, oh, you get to make your own schedule. I was like, that's awesome. What do I do? You know, it was like, I've never had that environment of you are in control, which was really cool. And it was very empowering for me to be able to do it because that allowed me to set those small goals. Being in sales, it really is all about setting those goals, getting those targets, and getting on track. And I actually think being an athlete helps me in that position. But yeah, the biggest hurdle after athletics was definitely not having someone tell me what to do. And that's why I love doing CrossFit, because someone tells me what to do. It's like, I feel like I'm back in that athlete atmosphere. I feel like I'm back to kind of Bridget Sloan, the athlete, and not Bridget Sloan, the saleswoman.
It's almost like you would need a virtual accountability coach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, cool. So enough with the serious stuff. Now we're gonna do something. We got 60 seconds.
I'm ready.
All right, 60 seconds. Set the clock. Rapid fire questions.
Oh God.
All right, first answer.
Okay, ready.
Are you ready?
Do you have questions?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Chick-fil-A or Polynesian?
Polynesian.
Moe's or Chipotle?
Chipotle.
Favorite movie line?
Decimus Maximus Meridius.
What's that from?
Gladiator.
Okay, you have to say it.
Oh, do you want me to say the whole line?
No. Favorite movie villain?
Ursula.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
What's the last song you listened to on your iPhone?
Oh God. Pass.
If you had an entrance song, what would it be?
It's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of great songs that would describe me.
One, go.
All I can think about is Get Low.
All right, perfect. Get Low, Lil Jon, Eastside Boys. There we go. All right,
fine.
favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
If you had one superpower, it would be.
To fly.
All right, awesome. Thank you,
Oh,
Bridget.
that was it. Woo! You're welcome.
All right.